Hey, everybody. I'm a retired evangelical pastor. I was a conservative Republican voter for my whole life until Donald Trump. And so I've been doing everything I can to raise an alarm for Christians about the dangers of Donald Trump. Donald Trump poses the gravest threat to our country of anyone in my lifetime. And it's been bone crushingly depressing to me. But I'm breaking in here. I just have to break into that cycle to talk about what Tucker Carlson just said at a Turning Point USA rally for Trump. Trump was at that rally, and if he were any sort of decent human being, he would have gotten up after Tucker spoke and he would have said, "What Tucker Carlson just said is vile and reprehensible, and I completely reject it. No one who says those sorts of things represents me." But of course, he didn't say that because Tucker Carlson absolutely represents the views of Donald Trump. So I'm going to show you what Tucker said, and I'm going to make sure to show you enough context so you know that I'm not just cherry picking quotes. This is despicable stuff. It's horrifying that language like this is being spoken at a major rally for a man who quite possibly could be our next president. I want you to watch the response of the Christians in the audience. And I know I get a lot of pushback when I identify Trump supporters as Christians, but I'm doing this as a person from within. I'm not a person from outside attacking Christians. I'm a Christian who's trying to call attention to other Christians who have gone completely off the rails, and it's getting really bad. If I'm looking at a group of people who think they're Christians and call themselves Christians and are participating in obscene hate rallies because of their understanding of the faith, then I've got to talk about them as Christians, and I need to talk to them as Christians. What you'll hear when I play this video is Tucker Carlson talking about justice in a way that perfectly captures how oppressors talk about justice. It's abusive, it's authoritarian, and it's all about punishing anyone who would dare to challenge the oppressor's power. Now, I'm glad that people are finally calling Trump a fascist. I'm careful about using that word, though, because I don't think most people understand what it means. And they think when I use it that I'm being hyperbolic. But if you want to understand fascism, Tucker Carlson is painting a picture of it right before our eyes. He's been demonizing immigrants and liberals, painting a really harsh picture of the enemy within. And fascists always talk this way about how a minority of people are threatening the way of life of the majority. And then they mobilize the majority to support a strong man who will crush the minority. That's what fascists do. They build up so much hatred for the other that it justifies any sort of actions the leader takes to crush the other. I talked about all of that in this section of my book, and here's Tucker Carlson doing all the things. So listen to how he makes Kamala Harris a stand-in for the other. Listen to how he throws out intentional racial comments. He says she was picked because she was the right color. And then listen to how he lays a groundwork and a justification for Trump, the strong man, to physically punish his enemies. But again, this isn't about Tucker Carlson. He's doing this all intentionally to move the Overton window, to stretch the bounds of what's acceptable to talk about in our politics. He's really good at that. And every word that he uses here is intentional. This video is about his Christian followers. Listen to how they respond to this stuff. That's horrifying stuff. Carlson's defenders can say that he paid lip service to Kamala Harris's humanity, but he did even that in a mocking way. But he just talked about a father beating a 15-year-old girl. And that's his analogy for what Donald Trump should do to Kamala Harris and anyone else who has the gall to oppose him. Remember, all Kamala Harris has done to bring about the ire of Tucker Carlson is to dare to stand up and say, I'm an American citizen and I'm going to run for president. When people accuse right-wing Christians of wanting to bring in the Handmaid's Tale, that's the kind of stuff they're talking about. You know, I could go into a long discussion here of how twisted Carlson's take on justice is, but instead, I'll just ask you to watch the videos I've released this past week when I talk about biblical justice. I'm a lot friendlier in those videos. Anyway, I'm pretty irritated by this. So watch those videos and you'll hear a better picture of biblical justice. So here's all I want to say right now. We can't let this version of Christianity win. Donald Trump was at this rally. If you support Donald Trump, you're empowering this version of Christianity. Those young people in that stadium, this is what they'll grow up hearing. This is disgusting, it's dangerous, and it's demonic. A vote for Donald Trump is a vote for a hideous version of Christianity that will cause untold suffering in the world, all in the name of Jesus. Christians must stand up and reject this obscenity now before it's too late. And thanks for listening.